I feel like that looks sick.
Oh, this clutch slipping? It sounds like this clutch is slipping, dude.
Someone did ask if I paid cash for my bikes, and I don't think I've ever talked about this officially on the channel.
Wouldn't be a car meet without a Mustang crashing. Dang, man. For sure, I'd want the 25th anniversary. How do you think they'd sit in the garage next to each other? I think they'd look pretty good, man.
Jumped the curb and then I flipped over the bike. And needless to say, I failed my first ever motorcycle license test. What's up, guys? It's your boy FastLaneD, and today we are headed to a local car meet with some of the boys. If you're following your boy over on the gram, you saw I posted a story about a Q&A video, so today that's what we're doing. Which, if you ever want to submit questions in the future, make sure you go follow your boy. Now, I was gonna ride the M1K because that's the new toy. I am in love with this freaking bike, but I have a lot of videos planned on this bike, so we pulled a Luna out. I haven't rode Luna in a while on camera. But yeah, we're about to get this one tuned, and then we're going to a meetup this weekend, a big meet. So like I said, I'm bringing this and probably the H2. So never a bad idea to have a Ducati day. All right, but enough talking. Let's get this cold start going, baby. Yes, sir. It's been too long since I've seen that. And as always, y'all know where to get the key tags if you're interested.
I just linked up with Kevin, got some gas real quick, and we're headed to go meet up with the rest of the crew. He's on his Gixxer 1K. Oh, he's got you beat. Dang. The boys are out today, that's for sure. It's gonna be a good day. It's a beautiful Sunday in the fall. Look at the leaves changing on the trees. Got a beautiful Gixxer 1K out here with the Acura. Let me hear it, Kevin. Let me hear it. There we go. And then we got Luna over here. But we're running behind, so let's get this rolling, baby. Yeah, I still think my R1M has the most uncomfortable seating position because hopping on this bike, I don't really notice a huge difference between the M1K and this thing. Except that I'm probably sitting more on top of the bike. And the shenanigans begin. Here we go. Oh man. If this is an indicator of how the day is gonna go, I already like it. First question that I'm gonna ask or go over is the H2 worth the hype? And dude, I see this guy on this CBR everywhere. I'm always in my car when I see him, but he's literally everywhere, man. Oh hell yeah. That's crazy. That's cool. It's always fun to running out into you guys out here in the wild. I wonder if he's headed to the same meet that we are headed to. But anyways, all right, is the H2 worth the hype? In my opinion, if it's your only bike, no, I don't think it's worth it. I think there's better bikes suited for just kind of cruising around town and riding with your boys. Is it a great secondary bike? Absolutely. Phenomenal. 100% worth the hype, especially if you're into any sort of like roll racing, drag racing. Obviously the Booster is huge in the drag racing scene, in the tricksters in general, but like I said, a secondary bike, that's the bike. That's not a bike that I'd want to have as my everyday only bike, if that makes sense. Dang, everyone's out today on the bikes, man. But as far as it being like worth the hype, absolutely. That bike is a showstopper. It looks insane, like an alien out of this world. The paint on it is nuts. It's fast as hell once you get it tuned and kind of like set up and everything. Sounds that come out of that bike are incredible. Like, everything about that bike is awesome, man. It looks like the 600, oh, that's the 1K. That's the CBR 1000, which that's the bike that started the channel right there. CBR 1000rr. So it's cool to see one again. It's quick, dude. It is quick. Let's go, baby. Uh-oh, step out to do one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There he goes. Okay, Kevin. Oh, he's a lot better at him now. And we got a cop. There goes all the fun. Alright, we'll chill out for a sec. Biggest advice to new riders. My biggest advice is going to be to ride your own ride. And I've seen so many people get hurt trying to keep up with other people or do stuff that they see on social media. Like a lot of these guys that have been riding for 10, 15, 20 years that have way more experience and mileage under their belt. And they're trying to ride like they ride and mimic what they do, which sometimes I get frustrated with the stuff I do see on social media just because I know it influences you guys to ride like that. And even, I mean, I can't really point the finger at anyone else because there's stuff that I do as well I would not want anyone that's new to riding doing. So always just take it slow. If you're with a big group, just get the location from the group so that you have it, so that if they leave you, you can just meet them up at the next stop. And if you're riding with people that make fun of you for doing that, then you need some new riding buddies. Those dudes are lame. Because your safety is the #1 thing. Like, it's not worth you risking losing your life, wrecking, and dealing with that whole headache just to try and keep up with your buddies, man. They should understand that and want you to be safe. This bike is definitely the lightest feeling bike. Like, this feels lighter than the M1K for sure. And people always ask which bike is my favorite bike. That's so hard to pick. They all do different things all so well. It's hard to like be able to like pick and be like, this is my favorite bike, absolute favorite. I think I might make a video on all the just so that I can explain the pros and cons of each bike if someone's trying to pick between them, if that makes sense. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. People don't understand until they see it in person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You think it'd be too much if I did the carbon wheels?
The forged carbon wheels? I think it would.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless you did like red and like kind of like color matched it a little bit.
Yeah, that's some red in there. Yeah, that would be kind of hard.
But I don't know. I like those. That's the classic.
Yeah. Look.
It's cool.
We've been here for like 45 minutes just talking. All right, so next question I'm going to answer is, here we go. People always ask, which bike do I regret selling the most? And I'm going to run through all of my bikes And I know, Dylan, you're gonna hate me as you're editing this, but let's throw up a picture of each bike if I can find one while I'm editing, because as some of y'all know, I've talked about this on Instagram. One of my hard drives recently crashed and they want $1,500 to get all my content back, and I had a lot of content on there, which is kind of frustrating. But first bike was a CBR FOI, second bike was a CBR 600rr, third bike was a Yamaha R6, fourth bike was a CBR 1000rr. Then I bought, which that's the bike that started the channel. Then I bought Storm, so my R1, my original R1. And then my second bike after that was the V-Rod Muscle, which was also on the channel. And then I had the Husqvarna 701. I love that bike. The Supermoto was sick, man. Then I bought the 1299. Then I bought the R1M. Then I bought the Ducati V4S. Actually, no, I bought the H2 first. Then I bought this bike, the V4 SP2. And then my last purchase, the M1K. So that's like almost 10 bikes. I've had a lot of bikes. I've been riding for almost a decade now, about 9 years. I think next year will make 10 years. Honestly, none of the sport bikes I regret selling, because I have the cream of the crop now, and I love all my bikes. Now, I mean, I could have never even imagined having the garage that I have now when I first got into riding, and they all do their job so well. I've always said, though, I would buy another 2009 to 2014, somewhere in that age range, probably 2012 to 2014 R1, and build it exactly how I want it, with that Toast exhaust and just the angry headlight look, because I think the look on that bike is just iconic. I do miss the bike. I wouldn't say I regret selling it, though. I would say the only bike I regret selling is probably the 701 Husqvarna, man. That Supermoto was just so much fun, and it was just such a carefree feeling. Like, if I didn't care if I dropped it, I could just go off-road. Like right now, I could just ride into the dirt and then come right back onto the road. I could just literally hit that trail right there and not even think twice about it. But you can't beat that feeling, man. And it was really easy to wheelie as well. So I don't know, I've always said I'll get another Supermoto someday. One, to learn wheelies on, and two, just to be a hooligan on. Tanner's got the hoodie on, boy. Let's go. You big cats. Yes sir, yes sir. Next question was about the Hayabusa, which is the Hayabusa. If y'all see Chris Moore's Hayabusa, it's turboed, and it's got putting down like 400 horsepower. Like, it's something ridiculous, man. And that bike, in person, camera does not do it justice, as always. In person, that thing looks and sounds incredible, man. You've seen me kind of talk about it in some of the videos and say I really do want one. I do want one, I'm not gonna lie. Chris said it's gonna be about 80 grand, 70, 80 grand to build a replica or one like that, which is definitely something that I'm interested in. I would definitely need your boy would need a lot more money for sure. So if you guys want to support the channel and see something cool like that on there, make sure y'all go check out the merch. This guy. Check out the website. If you want to support your boy, get a key tag, get a shirt, get a hoodie, get something. But I would love to get a Hayabusa. That'd be sick. I'd love to be able to pick one up though without having to sell another bike. But a Hayabusa is definitely on my list of bikes that I'd want to own. For sure. And if I'm going to get a booster, like, I definitely want it to be turbo. That'd be just, I feel like it's mandatory. I already have the H2 that's supercharged, so that'd be cool to have a boosted, a turbo bike. Something different. Someone else also asked about EV bikes. Would I ever want to get like an EV? I definitely wouldn't be against it. I just feel like, I mean, like, the Teslas are cool, but like, you don't see a Tesla and get excited, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, oh my god, there's a Tesla Plaid, like $125,000 car, versus like you see a Lamborghini or a car, another car in that price range, you're gonna be a lot more excited. Or there's a lot more exciting of cars. Like the Tesla, like I said, they're fast, all the text on them it's cool, but they're just not exciting. Like, and on camera, it's just not gonna translate very well either. Like, you could be on the fastest thing in the world, and if I hit it and no sound is coming from it, and you're just hearing wind and like a little like whine, like, that's just not gonna be exciting to watch, you know what I'm saying, for anybody, man. It sounds like this clutch is slipping, dude. That's not good. Already? Oh man, I gotta rebuild the clutch already? Dude, that's gonna be so expensive. This bike has 2,200 miles on it. You're telling me that dry clutch is already slipping? Oh man. It's only in the high RPMs. I was wondering why it was wheeling like that. No! Yeah, that's the clutch. Oh my gosh. Already, dude. See, it cannot hold on to the... Damn! This bike literally has 2,200 miles on there. I thought the clutch would last a little bit longer. Not 2,200 miles. No, I'm just upset about the clutch. Yeah. I guess that's the biggest downside to the dry clutch, is that performance-wise, you can't beat it. It's better than the wet clutch, but they just don't last nearly as long as a wet clutch does. It's just part of the Ducati lifestyle, I guess. Alright, so we made it to this little car show out here. They got some cool bikes, man, for sure. Not bikes, but cars. Some vets, some old school vets. We got a new, it might be a 06, which looks sick. And look at the old school joints out here. We got the Hellkeezy, the Hellcat. Oh, we got a Busa, and that's the new one too, the Anniversary edition. Speaking of Busas, if I was to get one, that's the color that I'd want. That exact color right there. Hey, there's some really cool cars out here. There's so many people, I'm sure you guys can't actually see the cars very well, but lots of old school joints. That's pretty common for where we live here. And lots of trucks and got a little GT500 as well. Hey, got a little hot rod out here too. Alright, I'm gonna turn back around and go park for the bikes. Ugh. Yeah, look at this Busa. The color just, golly, this looks sick in person. Yeah, I love this orange, man. It's the 24th anniversary. I love this orange. And the flake in that paint is sick. Yeah, if I'm gonna get a Busa, this is probably the color that I'd go with. For sure, I'd want the 25th anniversary. How do you think they'd sit in the garage next to each other? I think they'd look pretty good, man.
Sheesh. Yeah, this thing's pretty cool. I don't think I could fit in here though, honestly, guys. I'm a little too big for all that, but cockpit does look sick with a big old V8 in the back. Wouldn't be a car meet without a Mustang crashing. Dang, man. RIP. Tire marks are here. Came off, hit the tree. The tree didn't even move. And yep, into the dirt. Spun out, man.
Alright, so we're about to head. I'm starving, so I went ahead and get some food. I texted Kay because I know he had to replace the clutch plates on his V4R. He said his was doing the same exact thing. So clutch plates need to be replaced, so I'm probably just going to take this bike home and kind of call it a day. A question I did get asked though is naked bikes. So bikes like this. Someone asked why I don't buy a naked bike, which we're going to do a first ride on this video. The CLX 700 Sport, something like that. But yeah, in my opinion, I just love the looks of the sport bikes, man. The full fairing bikes are just absolutely beautiful. Now there are some beautiful naked bikes out there, obviously, but I'm just partial to these bikes. Yes, naked bikes are a lot more comfortable. They're way more practical. And if you're the type of person that like you value your comfort, then like I say go for the naked bikes. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. It's just not for me. In my opinion, if I want to be comfortable, I'm just gonna get in my truck. Like I tell people that all the time. Like I'm not getting on the bike to be comfortable. Like I like the aggressive riding position. I like the way sport bikes sound. I like how they look. Like that's just part of the experience for me. And maybe once I get older, I'll get a bike like that that's more on the comfort side. But for now, I'll stick with my my sport bikes, man. I love these things. I see all the comments that are like, oh, try it naked. If you're not new to the channel, you know I've had supermotos, I've had Harleys. Like that's what started the channel. Was I had a sponsorship with our local Harley Davidson dealership. I did videos for them. So like I've been in that whole realm, and I just love these bikes, man. So if I'm looking to be comfortable, I'll just get in my truck where I got heated seats, navigation, I can eat, I can drink, like I can already do everything. So I don't know, but that's just me. So if I were to buy a naked bike, though, it'd probably be the Diablo. I think the Diablos just they look incredible, they sound good. I haven't ridden one yet, but I've only heard good things about that bike. And you can do lots of fun wheelies on it. It's like a big muscle cruiser, which is comfortable with someone like me. And it's, I don't know, I feel like it would suit me very, very well. Comment asking if I would ever do any sort of like big group ride, and back in the day, yeah, those were cool to do. At this kind of point in like my YouTube career, it's just too much liability. And I've talked to other big creators, and it's just not worth the risk of one, other people getting hurt, and two, if something happens, if someone tries to sue you for hosting the meet, I mean, it can just turn into a lawsuit, complete like legal headache, if that makes sense. How did I come up with FLG, so Fast Lane Gang? And basically, I mean, my name was FastLaneD. And I didn't want this channel to just be about me. Like I wanted to be about the community. And that's what I really wanted to build, was a cool community, man. So I was like, what can I like name it that kind of incorporates the channel, but also invites other people to want to be, oh yeah, that just builds a community, if that makes sense. There's Mike finally. So yeah, that's kind of how Fast Lane Gang came up. I just came up with that. It just popped in my head. Yeah.
Alright, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was pretty upset yesterday. I couldn't even finish making that video because I know how expensive fixing the clutch on the Ducati is going to be. I'm pretty sure parts for that clutch are like $2,000 or $3,000 on top of labor. So yeah, but it's just Ducati ownership, so I really shouldn't be surprised. I just need a moment to kind of digest everything. There's a lot going on right now as far as I'm in the process of moving. If you ever moved to a different state, you know how expensive that can get and how stressful it is packing everything up and moving. On top of, I just bought the M1000rr. I'm currently looking for a trailer so I can transport all my bikes when I move. And a few other things. There's just a lot of money going out, but that's just life. Sometimes you have a lot of money coming out, sometimes you have a lot of money coming in. So I'm gonna answer a few more questions here as I take the mirrors off the R1M, and we're gonna be putting some blinkers in the headlights, and we got block off plates I just dropped and probably scratched. Dang. Huge shout out to Daisuke Racing for all the parts. They've got every single part you can think of for your bike. They also got gear and a bunch of other stuff. So make sure you go check out their website and use the code FastLaneDang to save 10% on all your orders. Someone did ask if I paid cash for my bikes, and I don't think I've ever talked about this officially on the channel, but it's time. Now, I will say the R1M, so let me get this out. I bought this bike in cash. At the time, I just bought a house, and I knew there was just no way, don't want to break anything, but I knew there was no way I was gonna be able to get financing for this bike. And if I told you guys the price I paid for this thing, you would not believe it. Let's put it this way, okay? If I bought this bike, I could have sold it a month later for a lot more money than what I paid for brand new. Like, it was such a steal of a deal. So I just kind of had to finagle some things and bite the bullet, take the leap of faith and buy this bike, and it paid off. Now the H2, I did buy cash for that bike because I applied for a loan and they turned me down for that bike. And that's something I've been searching for a really long time. So when I found it, I was so excited. I was like, I cannot let this bike slip between the cracks. And I knew at the time that that would be a bike that would just do very, very well on the channel. And at the time, I just sold one of my rental properties. So I had the cash ready, available, ready to go. So took it from real estate and bought a motorcycle. Some would say that's a bad idea, but I get more enjoyment and pleasure out of that than I did having rental property. So plus it's just not for pleasure, it's also for work, so that works. Now the Ducati, which is right behind the camera here, I traded my 1299 in on that bike. Now the 1299, I did have some equity in, so I took that money, took the equity in that bike, traded it in. They gave me a really good price for the 1299. And then I also threw some cash on top. Been just trying to pay it down quickly. Pretty much I own that bike. Like, there's not a lot that I could just write a check right now and just finish off the payments because it's really not a lot of money at all. So yeah, I own R1M, I own the H2, and I pretty much own the SP2. I will in like a month or two. I'll own that bike completely outright. So the only bike that I have financed right now is the M1000rr. And BMW has some really, really, really cool financing options, which if you have a BMW dealership local, definitely talk to one of the guys because the financing that I was able to do on that bike was insane. Now, if you would have asked me before YouTube if I would recommend financing bikes, I'd say no. I'm like, if you can't buy it cash, don't buy it. For me, I'm in a different position than most of you because these bikes are part of my business. Like, they make money. Like, if I don't have a bike, I can't make content. So take that information I'm giving you to a grain of salt. Don't go out and finance a crazy bike because I would not recommend that. These are assets for the business. If you're not into the social media realm or do what I do, those are just pleasure things, and I put your money somewhere else. Let's just say that. Someone asked if I've ever crashed. Yes. So funny story, I've been riding for I guess almost 10 years now. So the first time I crashed was actually trying to get my motorcycle license. So I had my permit at the time and I was taking the test to get my license, and I think it was on the accelerate to like hard braking part of the test. And I practiced a million times and never had any issues. But for some reason, that day, it was not in my favor. My heart braked and I dropped my bike. And needless to say, I failed my first ever motorcycle license test, which is crazy to look where we're at now. But yeah, like I said, that was 10 years ago. So anyways, failed the test. I broke my brake lever on the bike and I didn't have a ride home. So I had to ride home just using the rear brake. And I was riding very emotionally. Let's just say that. I was very, 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 very upset, which I never recommend riding when you're upset like that because it blurs your judgment. So I went home, told my parents, and then as I was leaving my neighborhood, I was just wanting to ride and clear my head. And I was coming out of my neighborhood way too fast for just being able to use the rear brake. Basically, neighborhood, major road. I was coming way too hot and I was like, I don't want to go into this major road blind. So I took it to the curb, hit the curb, jumped the curb, and then I flipped over the bike and the bike just landed outside. I went rolling in the grass. Thankfully, I was wearing my gear. I had a jacket on and everything, so I wasn't scratched up. I really wasn't bruised or anything. I just picked the bike up and then learned my lesson and chilled out after that. But thankfully, that's the only crash experience I've ever had. Like I always say, ride your own ride. I honestly just try and, if I'm uncomfortable, riding at a certain pace, I won't ride at that pace. That's just something I've learned. I'm also very chill in the city. Like that's where a lot of people get hurt. You can't be riding fast through intersections and whatnot. On the highway, sure, obviously it's a little bit safer because you don't have to worry about people making left turns, right turns, coming in and out of traffic from the opposite direction. Now there is a whole different rule set in my opinion, you gotta go by on the highway, but I try to stick the shenanigans just on the highway or just open road where I can see and I know there's no one coming in and out so that no one cuts me off or anything. That's kind of just my advice. Now, funny enough, I actually bought these carbon pieces. You can see it's like cobwebs and dirt on it. Probably like over a year ago. I just never really installed them. So maybe we'll put these on. I mean, that doesn't look too bad. Actually looks really clean, actually. Ooh, this sound good. Oh, there we go. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I do really like the updated front end on the R1M. So I low-key might switch it out to like the full carbon. Like this is not silver, it's all carbon, and then it still has the blue lines. I think that looks sick. But I like the tank on my generation more than the newer generation, so that might be the move. Hey, Yamaha went crazy with this carbon though. That's how you know it's good carbon fiber. Look at the weave on the inside, man. Yo, all right, check this out, check this out. Now, obviously it'll look a lot better when everything's buttoned up, but we'll do the right turn signal first. Obviously I could have done the whole mod where you gotta take this whole bike apart, take the headlight off, ship it off. It's like a 6-week wait, something crazy. I didn't want to deal with all that and having to take this all apart and then have the bike be down for 2 months, if not more, because with my luck, something always happens. So yeah, that was a quick, easy. That took like literally like 15, 20 minutes. You could knock that out. Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, now someone asked what's the fastest I've ever gone, and probably, actually I know it was on the H2R in that video where I went over 200 miles an hour. And for a bike to carry me that fast, because I'm about 245, 250 pounds, fluctuate somewhere in between there. For a bike to carry me at that speed is pretty insane. Another person asked if I'd ever buy an H2R. At this point in time, no, but I never say never. You never know what's gonna happen in the future. I have my H2, I love my H2. I already think this bike is overkill for the streets. Don't get me wrong, the H2R is an incredible bike, but yeah, I almost got in a lot of trouble on that bike. I'm just gonna say, just gonna leave it at that. A lot of trouble. Like I was actually very worried. Someone else asked, what do I do for a living? And at this point, YouTube. So shout out to you guys, I really do appreciate y'all's support to be able to do this pretty much full time. The training I was doing full time. I've kind of transitioned it to where this is my main focus now, and the training is something I just do for fun because it's very fulfilling and it's very rewarding to help people transform their lives. And it's not just a physical transformation, it's also like you see it in their family life, in their mental state, in their work life. Like it's a whole positive feedback loop. Very rewarding. The motorcycle stuff is not like an instantaneous gratification thing. I just post videos on the internet and then see comments. And when I meet you guys in person, that's when I get that same feeling that I get from training. So I do believe life's all about serving and helping other people. That's how people feel fulfilled. That's why I've kept that around for so long. Yeah, you guys comment down below. Let me know, do y'all think the black looks better here? Which kind of just like flows with like the black theme we got on the tank and here and here, or if the carbon goes a little bit better. I don't know if it's too much carbon or what, but this is the wrong side. Or if this flows a little bit better. I don't know if this fits on this bike. So this is basically non-existent on the regular R1. This is in the way. So this piece will not fit there because of that. So never mind to this. All right, so the bike is buttoned back up. Let me show you guys these turn signals officially. I feel like that looks sick. Oh yeah, that's cool. Because like I said, I still want to be able to daily it. So I still need turn signals. I didn't want to go without blinkers. And I hate hyper flash. And it's very sleek. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm loving that. But I think that's gonna go ahead and like pretty much end this Q&A video. Actually, I'll answer one more question. I get asked a lot if I would ride internationally, and that is a dream of mine to be able to take a bike, if not multiple bikes, and be able to do like a world tour, not just in the US. Go visit you guys overseas that support the channel, because I really do love seeing those comments being like, hey, I'm from Turkey, UK, India, all over the place. Like, that's just wild that you guys are watching from different parts of the world. So maybe one day we'll take Rain, we'll take the H2, or the Duck, or the M1K, who knows? Then we'll do a world tour. But that's really all I got for you guys. Y'all enjoyed that video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, join the Fast Lane gang, baby. Hey, and if there's any questions that you guys, other questions you guys want, throw them in the comments below. Go follow your boy on Instagram so you can get featured in the next Q&A. Maybe what I'll start doing at the end of videos is start picking just some other questions here and there. Just kind of adding them in just to, I don't know, just to help you guys out and y'all get to know me a little bit better. And I just enjoy answering the questions. So that's really all I got for y'all. Rain, the rest of the squad that's behind the camera, and your boy, we out. Peace. Oh, and as always, work hard, be consistent. You can do anything